First of all, I'd like to welcome you and thank you for choosing me as your personal piano professor. My goal is to help you reach your goals in terms of learning to play the keyboard. And I'm going to start today with giving you a little lesson on just making music in general. We're not going to talk so much about reading music and notes and all of that sort of stuff. What I'm going to do is show you that you can make music pretty quickly with just a few basics. What I do mostly with my first students is I sit them down at the piano and I tell them, look, I'm going to give you some notes to play, 5 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't even tell them what notes they are generally. I just say, your job is to play those notes, kind of like finger painting. You can use any finger you want and play the notes in any order. And then what I normally do is I play a few simple chords, and we'll talk about that, with my left hand. And then I ask them to play anything they feel like using only those 5 notes. And the beauty of it is you can't make a mistake, because I know, and you'll know eventually, that these notes that I gave them will fit. No matter which one they play, it's going to sound okay. And most people get pretty excited about that. You mean I'm playing and I'm not reading music? Yes. The music's in you. It's not necessarily on the page. So basically I want you to have that experience with this first lesson of actually getting some music out. And you're going to learn a little bit about melody, which normally we're going to play with our right hand, and chords, which normally we're going to play with our left hand, at least in the beginning. And before we get started with that, I just want to review a few things that you learned if you read through the lesson. First of all, your hand position needs to be played like you would type. If you type on a computer keyboard, you play with the tips of your fingers. You can imagine holding a ball in your hand, and it's your kind of curved fingers there, and you play like this with the tips of your fingers, not like this with flat fingers. Although some people try and do that, the best way is to do with your tips of your fingers. So that's the first thing. Also, we want to number the fingers so that we can communicate that way. So our thumbs are finger number 1, pointers finger number 2, middle fingers finger number 3, ring fingers finger number 4, and 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That way, if I say put your second finger of your right hand on C, you would do that. Or third finger of your left hand on G, you would put it there. The other thing you should have learned if you read through the lesson so far is the names of the notes. And just to review that really quickly, we have 7 letters in the musical alphabet: A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. No H, so you'll never see play an H or anything like that. Just A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. And the way we find those is because we look at the sets of 2 black notes and sets of 3 black notes. Just to the left of the set of 2 black notes is the white note C. And there's a C note. Wherever you see the set of 2, the one to the left is going to be C. So already now you can find all the C's on the keyboard just by having your eyes go to the set of 2 black notes, playing the note to the left. And then as we go up, we have D, which is between the 2 black notes, E, F, which is just to the left of the set of 3 black notes, G, A, B, and then C again. So you should know by this time the names of the notes. So if I said, put the third finger of your right hand on A, you'd be able to do that. And it takes a little while, but you'll get those pretty quickly if you keep on playing and practicing. The other thing is the names of the black notes. Now, not to get into too much detail, each black note has 2 names, depending on whether we're going up or coming down. Up is to the right, down is to the left. So if I'm at C and I play the black note to the right, it's called C sharp. Coming down, that would be D note, and you would call this D flat. So I've got C sharp and D flat, I've got D sharp and E flat, and I've got F sharp and G flat. Again, they have two names. It's a little confusing right now, but don't let it bother you. You'll learn more about why they have two names later on. Also, I have G sharp and A flat, same note, and A sharp and B flat. So now we've got the names coming up: C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, and B. Coming down we'd have B, B flat, A flat, G, G flat, F, E flat, D flat, and C. So now we've named the notes, we've numbered our fingers, and we're ready to play. Two things I want you to know. For the most part, we're going to be playing melodies with our right hands and then chords with our left. A little bit about chords. I want you to learn a bunch of chords today, actually 7 of them. And the great thing about them is they all kind of look the same on the keyboard. Basically what we're going to do with our left hand and our right hand, actually, because it's nice to know chords in both hands, is to take your 5th finger of your left hand, the 3rd finger of your left hand, and the 1st finger of your left hand, and place them on the notes C, E, and G. We use fingers 5, 3, and 1, and then in our right hand we use 1, 3, and 5. And if you notice, you skipped every other white note. And if you play those together, you'll have a C chord, full sounding C chord. Now if you move it up one, keep the same hand position, but move your hand one key to the right, you'll have D, F, and A, and that's called a D minor chord. Don't worry about the names of them today, but we'll learn more about that again as lessons continue. The next one up, E, G, and B, is an E minor chord. F, A, and C is an F major chord. G, B, and D is a G chord. A, C, and E is an A minor chord. And B, D, and F is called a B diminished chord. And then back to C again. So what I'd like you to be able to do is feel real comfortable with that particular hand position. Every other white note, every other finger. And you should be able to, if you get through this lesson, be able to play these chords up and down the keyboard. And you can start to see that it sounds like music already. How about this? It's all a song called Lean on Me. Somebody to lean on. And you'll notice now, if you just play white notes in your right hand while you're playing chords, that you can start to pick out little melodies. I'm just kind of making it up as I go along. So what I'm doing is really kind of finger painting, and don't worry about mistakes. You're going to have to make a lot of mistakes in order to get good, so the more mistakes you make, the better it is. The idea is just not to repeat mistakes, so if something doesn't sound good, don't do it again, and if it does sound good, repeat it. Like, for instance, this. Well, that sounded pretty good. I'll do that again. Try different chords. How about this for a sound? We'll start on the A chord up here. So in this lesson, that's all I really want you to do. I want you to be able to know the numbers of your fingers, know the names of the notes, and be able to play that chord. Again, if you pick up your hand and just move it from side to side, you'll be playing C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, B diminished, and C. And also over here you'll be playing melody. But I'd like you to also feel comfortable with the chords in both hands. And that's about enough for now. You're already on the road to making music. What we've learned is that music actually comes from you, from inside, from your heart and from your mind. And we're going to use our ears and our eyes when we're playing the keyboard. We're going to learn to recognize those little patterns, every other white note for chords, and we'll learn more about those in future lessons. Now I hope you enjoyed this little video demonstration of the lesson 1, and there are going to be more lessons sent to you. Also, I want to remind you that at the bottom of the page there's kind of a lesson progress report, and I'm hoping to interact with you. I hope to get back to you if you send me a question or let me know how you're doing. I'll get back to you via email and hopefully become a personal coach for you, because I really do want you to learn. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of benefits to it, and it's just a great thing to learn to play. So let me know if you have any questions, and stay tuned for more lessons. Come back to the website, and more lessons will be coming up. Thanks a lot for picking me as your personal piano professor, and happy playing.